Hi, I am Claudia Brown Coulter with Pivotal Peace. I'm your go-to mediator for navigating divorce while parenting children with special needs, and I'm also legal document assistant, LDA, based in the greater Los Angeles area. So today I want to break down this divorce process. Actually, the day I'm filming this, I just finished meeting with a couple who have been going through a divorce for several years. And it's taking so long, not because they're fighting, but because they don't know what to do. And the person that they hired, there was some miscommunication in there somewhere. I don't know. I don't know whose end it was on. But don't let that be you. Divorce is challenging emotionally, and when you're in that deep emotional state, it can be hard to research or read or think anything about the divorce process. And then when you do, you're like, wait, how many forms do I actually have to fill out? So I'm going to kind of give you the bare bones and keep it simple for you. Obviously, every situation is different, but in general, these are the forms that people usually do to fill out a divorce. I will say there's a really great form, the FL 107. That is a form by the court, and it's not pretty, but that's okay. We don't need pretty. We need clear, and this sucker is clear. It tells you the steps of divorce, step 1, step 2, step 3, how you can resolve your divorce. So let's go through it. The step 1 of divorce is someone has got to file. You got to fill out a petition, you got to fill out a summons, and if you have a child, you have to fill out the 105, the UCCJEA. That is making sure that the court has jurisdiction over the children. They want to know where they have lived the last 5 years. Depending on the county you are in, you may have to fill out an additional form. It's a local form. In general, these local forms really want to know, did you pick the right court? At the bare essence of things, if you just boil it down, most of them just want to know, did you pick the right court? There's a couple of them that want to know, like, there's something called ADR, and you're like, duh, I know, Claudia. Alternative dispute resolution, totally going to mediate this sucker. Great. But like for LA, they want to know, did you pick the right court? There's a different form in Orange County, and some other counties don't have them. San Diego has one. I got to check on Riverside. I think they might. San Bernardino? I don't remember. Every court's got something different, okay? So that's pretty much it for step 1. You get those filed, you have to pay a filing fee. If you can't afford a filing fee, then you can fill out a fee waiver, and if they grant it, your filing fee is waived. If they don't grant it, they're going to be like, show me the money, so that they can continue to process your divorce. That should be the only fee you pay to the court, the $435 or $450, depending on what county you're in. Then, your spouse has to be served, and you cannot do it, and you cannot do it by email. It's got to be done in person. You can do it through the mail, but you can't put that sucker in the mail. You can't fill out them forms, but you can do it through the mail. The mail is the most discreet way to do it because nobody's showing up at your hair salon on your birthday serving you with divorce papers. True story. So, serve it through the mail. If you get served with that paper, you got to look and find the paper that says Notice of Acknowledgement and Receipt, the FL 117. When you sign that paper, you're not saying, yes, I agree, they can get whatever they want. You're saying, yeah, I got these papers. I'll be looking at them, but I got these papers. Here's why you want to sign that. Are you ready to get divorced or what? Your 6th month does not start until you sign that paper, because that's your service. So the 6-month clock in California, it takes a minimum of 6 months to get divorced, does not start until your spouse has been served. At that point, your spouse has 30 days to respond, to file a formal response. If they choose to do that, they'll also have to fill out a UCCJEA FL 105 if they're kids. They will also need to have you served, and they will also need to pay a filing fee. From there, you move on to step 2. You both need to do your financial disclosures in Los Angeles and in increasing counties throughout California. Whether or not the respondent files a response, the court still wants to see their financial disclosures filed. Go ahead and do that. If you come to me and say, Claudia, we want to mediate, but we're in San Francisco, and San Francisco does not require the respondent to file financial disclosures, I'm going to say, but I need them. I need them to help you figure out child support or spousal support. As a mediator, that's one of my roles, to help you negotiate those things, to help you understand how those things are calculated. So it's a good idea to do that. So you want to complete your, well, you might not want to, but you need to complete and file your financial disclosures. Now, pay attention. On the FL 142, your schedule of assets and debts is annoying. You might not know everything about your spouse's assets and debts. If you know it, list it. If you don't, that's okay. List everything that pertains to you, even if it is separate property. List it all, because you're going to use that in the last step, where you're documenting everything that is your separate property, and everything that are all the things that are your debts. You're going to use that form. That's really going to help you. The other thing about the FL 142, it says if you list something in here, you need to attach a statement. You know how many people miss that? Attach a statement. Disclose that information. Send it. You can send that right to your spouse. Oh, this is my bank statement. It shows 12 cents. Send them last month's bank statement. Move on. Move on. Disclose it. So you've disclosed your information, you have filed your financial disclosures, and now you have some disagreements. There are some things that you can go get coffee and you can figure things out. And you guys can kind of hash it out. As long as you're in public, you're not gonna start arguing and yelling, nothing's gonna break. You guys can have a civil conversation. Good. Have that conversation. But if there are a couple things that you don't agree upon, if there's some confusion about numbers and how things should be divided, that's right now. This is the time right now, right after step 2. You can go meet with the CDFA. You can work with a mediator. You can consult with an attorney to get the help you need to navigate the rest of this process. You may need to talk to an attorney to get some legal advice. You may need to talk to an attorney so that when you've reached your agreement, before you sign the forms, your attorney can go, oh yeah, that was a good deal. They're not being a jerk. Actually, that's a good deal. Go ahead and sign that. I recently had that happen to a client. So you want to consult with an attorney. The mediator can really help you negotiate once you have that down. Now, when I meet with my clients, I think you guys know I was an elementary school teacher for 21 years. So I send my clients notes as a mediator after a mediation session. And don't you know, they are color-coded, red, yellow, and green. I cannot help myself. Red are all of the things that you guys have made proposals on, but you're not agreeing with. That's okay. It's great to have it written down. So after a session, you can review it, you can mull it over, you can think about it. It's not abstract in your memory somewhere. It's concrete right there. Yellow is any homework that you need to do. Every once in a while, I got to do some research. I got to do a little bit of homework. I got to ask somebody questions. But a lot of times it's like, did you talk to the actuary? Because some people need to talk to an actuary. Did you talk to the CDFA yet? What's happening here? Have you talked to the realtor yet? Sometimes they have a little bit of homework. And then the green is everything you've agreed upon. My goal, and like I said, not everything has to be solved by mediation. And also, if you can resolve most of your problems with mediation and one or two you just can't reach an agreement, hey, that's still a win. Take it to the court. Take it to the judge. That's still a win. But my goal is that at the end of the mediation session, once you've reached an agreement, you have really clear notes so that, and you'll see in tomorrow's video where it details all of the assets that the petitioner is going to receive. You can just take my notes and copy and paste them, or you could take the note, or you can rewrite it in your own words. I'm usually just using your words that you're telling me in the mediation session, but you can copy and paste that into the right sections. You can make sure it's correct, make sure it's the right wording. But it takes a lot of the mental load out of it because you've already reached your agreements. And so we're just documenting these agreements. They've been documented in an email format, and then you have a copy of that, and then you can document that in your final agreement. Some people take a marriage settlement agreement instead, and they attach that to their paperwork that they've signed. That's fine. That's fine. So You've reached your agreement on terms. Then you get to your step 3 paperwork, which is not cut and dry. It's not as clear cut as everything else. But in general, they want you to do financial disclosures. Most people can waive those final financial disclosures, not preliminary. Your final ones, you can submit a form about that. You can ask them to enter default, or you can ask to enter the judgment as uncontested. You document everything about the kids. You document things about child support, holidays. You document things about spousal support. There's extra forms for that. Your property, that's tomorrow's video. So please don't get lost. If you are confused, schedule a time to chat with me so I can talk you through this. I can't tell you what to do, but like I said, I can point you in the right direction. I can give you some great documentation that will tell you what to do. But in general, those are the forms that people fill out for divorce. Every divorce is different. Sometimes people need extra orders. They need different forms. That's different. Okay, but this is like the bare bones basic divorce. You can do it. It feels complicated, but it's not. It's not. You got this.